Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining today's session. My name's Jonathan Cannon. I've been working at ESCO now for 5 years as what we call an application sales manager, which is very much technical pre-sales, really. I'm here today just to help Sylvie run this session. Sylvie will be introducing herself in a moment. She'll be doing the training, but I'm going to hang around and, if the conversation moves away from CAD more towards pre-press, I can help Sylvie answer those kind of questions as well. So thanks again for joining. Before we start, just some general information. By default, you're all muted. There's a lot of you on the call, so we don't want too many dogs barking and things going off that might distract us from the training. If you'd like to ask a question, and please do, and I'm sure a lot of you will have questions as the session moves on. There's a little questions tab at the bottom right hand side of your web browser window. If you just click in there and ask us questions, Sylvie and I can pick those up and work through them. Please don't feel afraid to interrupt while we're training here. It's all about getting some engagement and helping answer your questions. Just so you know, your questions are anonymous as well, so don't be shy. If you put a question in, we'll see it, but everybody else on the call won't see it. The webinar is being recorded, so you can review this at the end if you want to pick through it again or share it with a colleague or whatever you want to do. You'll automatically get a link sent to your email when the webinar closes. If you're having any issues at all, just refresh the browser window. Normally cures any problems, or if that doesn't work, just restart the browser and rejoin the call. Now, one last thing, we have what we call a poll system on these webinars. Now, the bottom right-hand side of the screen, there'll be a little poll button, and from time to time, we'll put some questions in, and we'd really like to get your engagement. And if you could answer those questions, it'd be great, because it kind of makes it more interesting for you, and it gives us a good steer on kind of what your thoughts might be as well. Okay, so I'm not going to waste any more time here. I'm going to hand over to Sylvie, and as I say, I'm going to be on the call for the duration, and I'll speak again later. Thank you very much for joining, Sylvie.
Hello, everybody. So yeah, my name is Sylvie, and I'll be presenting this online free training of artioscad. So I've been at ESCO for a year now, and as a software specialist for artioscad, I also do Cape and Studio. So yeah, and today I'm just going to share a little presentation about what we're going to see. Yeah. Let's go back at the first one. So in this artioscad free training, we are going to, what are the key points of today? So the standards. So what we call standards are resizable, rebuildable designs. So I'm going to take the example of FEFCO 201 that I'm going to bring into 3D. Then I'm going to change the material, change the dimensions as a customer would ask to. So then I'll talk about geometric macros, implementation, and implemented in different tools. That could be really handy, because sometimes we struggle. Instead of redesigning everything, you have so those little really geometric macros that are implemented, and that you can reuse and use whenever you want. So in that standard FEFCO 201, I'm going to add some handholds. And then afterwards, I'm going to create a sleeve, so you can also see the geometric macros in those tools. Then I'm going to go into layouts with my creation, different sorts of layouts. So the intelligent estimation, the manual layout in manufacturing, because sometimes it's useful also to be able to move some things, and some layouts in Canvas. So Canvas is the multi-part and multi-substrate projects that we can do now in artioscad. Very useful for display customers as folding carton if you have multi-part. So then that's the big part. We're going to create a design in Canvas and make it all in one resizable. So using variables, showing you how to edit log, and also use the 3D mate tool in that Canvas design. And then I'll go just slightly into enterprise and web center, but really high level to show you how it works with the management workflow and the approval cycle. And just for a little bit of background, before I was a designer, so structural designer, I've been a graphic designer also. So I know the struggles that you may have. Um, I wasn't on a new version of artioscad. We had the 7.6 version because we didn't have the maintenance contract. So yeah, we stick to that really old version. And once I've bounced to the new version with the 3D, with all these assist automize tools, it was way easier. So yeah. Um, yeah, the fact that I didn't have 3D, so cost of material is starting to be a huge pain point for customers. With 3D, you can really see, what could go wrong before production. So it's really a good help to have 3D now. And I didn't have the layout module, so I used to play around Tetris all the day. So I used to lose a lot of time. And yeah, with the layout module, you'll see that you have different possibilities, but you can gain a lot of time, so a lot of money. Thank you, and hopefully this will be a good training for you. Don't hesitate to ask some questions, so in the chat, and let's dive in. I'll share my screen. There we go. And there we go. So hopefully everybody sees my screen. Do you see it, John?
Yep, I can see it, Sylvie.
Okay, good. So first of all, I'm just going to show some standards. So the fact that each time we have a new release, we have some new standards in there. So that's a good point because it can help you if you start with a project. You can find, like, even if you do a custom design, you can really just use this one for the basic um, design and then change some things. But this is rebuildable. So in dimensions and in material. So you can really change and have fun with it. We got some curved designs also now. So, but that's really for so you can see now I'm in FEFCO library. You can see that the material has changed already, showing flute. So in there, I'm just gonna highlight. I'm not gonna go in depth into the library, but and we also have some canvas, so multi-part designs. So you could have like one part in B flute and having this part in EE flute and all this working together. So it's quite nice to have that already. And the brand new thing is that we have some rigid box also now. So you don't have to create all these, and these all the parts are working together. So you just change one, the rest changes with it. And the fact that you can have like the paper around the gray um, the gray board. Yeah, this is quite nice. See, so you got multi-part. But for now, I'm going to use our old and the one that most people know, the FEFCO 201. So first of all, artioscad, we select which board type of board we want, corrugated, metric, and here I'm going to choose for now B flute. So Imperial's metrics, taking the metrics. If I go too fast, don't hesitate to say it sometimes. Yeah, you know how you if you're used to work a certain way, sometimes it goes too fast. So I'm going to enter some dimensions. Okay. And so I'm just going to overview some menus. You know that these is because of the sort of equipment that you would have. So die cut, slaughter, the fact that you can just click on these menus and you have also other types of like little drawings. So glue internal, external tapes, different sorts also of glue flaps, the structure of your box. So you can really, yeah, choose whatever you want. And I'm just going to talk about the RDF as the radius for digital finishing. So the fact that if you have a cutting machine, um, yeah, the cutting just comes to an angle, comes up, and then has to change the angle and go back down. If you have a radius, it just continues cutting. Be careful of your thickness of the material because then you just, yeah, uh, explode your your blade. So here I'm just going to put 4 for the moment. And for the rest, everything is pre-filled because of the material. So here we have already our FEFCO 201, good for production. So you could go with that. I'm going to add the dimensions. So these dimensions are, so I'm here, main design, and I select the layers. In the standards, we always have dimensions that are incorporated. So it's automatic, okay? Here, what I'm going to do is add some handholds. So now I'm going to talk about geometric macros. So the fact that we have little designs that you don't have to redraw every time you just implement it, you just incorporate it into your drawing. So here in tools, we have geometric macros, and you can find the handholds in the utilities. So it's yeah, and handholds. You get a pop-up menu, and here you select the one that you want. So I'm going to take the first one. You select dimension. So I'm going to make it a bit bigger because maybe you have like big hands. You just click on the crease line. You can see that it tips over. So, and I'm going to put 50 as offset. Same thing on the other side. Oh, we already have some cool handholds. Now, what I'm going to do is just show you the define mate areas. So if I click here, he's going to see where there's going to be some glue. So you can see here that he's defining the glue areas. If you click on it now, he's going to tell you that this is the glue that goes outside. You can show the name for the prepress. This is very important because the layers are going back to Illustrator or Art Pro Plus so they can see it. And you have the target that this time goes inside, and you can also show the name. So it goes inside. So no more mistakes for that. And as I was saying, you have these 3D assist layers that are automatically created when you click on this. Okay. This could be a question. If I create my own glue flap, will it recognize that it's a glue flap? Yes. But then again, I'll show you that you have geometric macros to do your glue flap. It's easier. Then I'm going to go to 3D. So convert to 3D. I'm going to open my box so you have a flat design. Already quite nice. You can see that it's B flute for now. Okay, what I forgot to show is that here you have, I'm going to add in my dimensions 6 millimeters because it's B flute. Okay, now I'm going to use my glue assist. So I'm going to tell him to mate the areas. He just closes the box. Then you can show the glue where it's going by transparency. Okay? Your folding angles in 3D just work all together. So everything works together like in real life. So I got my handholds that are here. So this is quite easy. And now that's the good part. Your client comes back and says, ugh, this is not high enough. I want 500 here. And I want BC flute because, yeah, B flute is not strong enough. Normally, you would redesign everything, especially because it's a different material. Here, no, it's a standard. You can rebuild with dimensions and substrate. So I click on here, rebuild button, and I go on my D. So he wanted to change D by 500. And I'm going to previous to change my substrate. So instead of B flute, I'm taking BC flute. There we go. And I click on next, and I can just say okay for the moment. He's warning me that, yeah, my RDF, so radius for digital finishing, is still there. I'm okay with that. So as you can see, he changed to 500, and he changed from 6 to 16 because it's BC flute now. Now, if I go in my update 3D, you'll find that your board has changed in BC flute. You can see that it's way bigger. So yeah, you can also input some dimensions here easily like that. So I use this one. Okay, so this was for the standards rebuilt, and now I'm going to create a sleeve. Okay, just a generic sleeve, and then add afterwards some cover and stuff like that, just to show you the geometric macros. So I'm getting out of here. I'm creating a new design. If I go too fast, please don't hesitate to say it, because sometimes I don't think I'm going too fast. But so from here, I start with this rectangle. Okay, I'm going to say that I want 200 by 100. So we start from here. And I'm going to take the tool just here, panel from line. This one I really like, because if I extend this line, I'll still have a cutting line. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is use crease type here, just underneath. Click on here, and you have rectangle from line, but ta-da, you got your geometric macros implemented in there that you can use. So yeah, it's way easier. So in this tool, the panel from line. So now if I extend, let's say I want to have, I'm going to put 40. Okay. And then I forgot my first dimension here. That's not really a big deal. I can press space bar. Then you have that little keypad, and you can say click here and click on the dimension. He's going to incorporate it. So you'll have exactly the same dimension as this. This will be really important afterwards with the style maker, the resizable design tool. Then I'll do the same thing with this one, but minus caliper, because I'm going to have my glue flap on there. So I click, I press space bar, I click on this dimension, and minus caliper, because he's considering the, I'm just going to click here. There we go. And now I'm just going to add some dimensions just to show you that he did take out the material. Okay. And now the glue flap. And again, am I going to design the glue flap? No. I'm going to use, again, this tool, but I'm going to say take the glue flap.
Sylvie, we have a question relating to this tool here. So the question is, where would I find the root location for this tool if it's not already pinned to my taskbar? So where would you find that tool?
Normally, it has to be in, wait, where are my stuff? No. So we have the checklist customize. Here it has to be in your geometry. So here, because it's part of this, so it's geometry here. This one.
Great.
Okay.
Sylvie.
So,
and there's one other question, Sylvie, that maybe relates to something that you might have showed earlier. So the question is, how would you rotate a view in 3D without using the view angle tool? Does that question make sense to
Oh,
you?
yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show that just with the sleeve then.
Okay.
Okay. So I extend this to create the glue flap. Okay. I'm going to put 20 because, yeah, I got tapes of 19. And I'm going to change my angle. So I'm going to put an angle of 20. Okay. And then, like I said, define mate area works exactly the same way. Now for the rotate part, I'm going in 3D. Okay. And this one showing where is my glue. I like that. Okay. Then again, even if it's not a standard, but one of my own, everything works together. Okay. Oops. And as you wanted me to show, you click on your design and you have here, rotate design. You click on the axe that you want to rotate, and then you can rotate like this or put an angle here. Okay. Was it this that he did? I hope, yeah, this is what he wanted to see. You can align also if you have different parts, you can align parts. So click on this and then click on the crease. So you align on the part. Okay. So this is how you rotate. So you select the axe. So here he's going to rotate like this. Okay. So that's for the sleeve. Now, if you create a box, you would like to see that, yeah, it's not gonna be a complete box, but just to show you how it works. I'm just gonna toggle off my dimensions. So from here, I use again the same tool. And instead of taking glue flap, I'm gonna take a friction flap. I'm going to go on my line and extend. Okay. For this one, doesn't really matter the size of it. So let's put 90. Cancel. It's a bit too big. So that was, yeah, 30, Sylvie, that's better. I'm going to stick it to that. Then I do the second. I align with the other one. Okay. And then now what you would have is a cover over here. Same thing, we have the covers in there. So I'm going to take the slit lock tuck. And you will see that if I take this one, you can see that my crease line is already going a bit upper because the material is there and the flaps are going before. So you're folding the flaps and putting the cover on top. And there comes the good part. I don't remember the dimension of my depth here. So I press spacebar and I say that I want this dimension. And there you go. So yeah, I'm not going to juggle around with this, but you can, yeah, just customize whatever you want here. So if I go in 3D now, so I update my 3D, you can see my cover. So I can open that. So that's for the cool geometric macros that are implemented. Now what I'm going to do is create a bleed layer. So it's easy. It's here. So if there's another question of this, you have, yeah, prepare for manufacturing. I think it's this one. So you got the bleed, the varnish. So I just click on the bleed. You can say that instead of 8 millimeters, I would like to have like 4. It's good enough. Then you select the flaps that you don't want to have in the bleed. There we go. So I got my. Just don't forget to click on OK because then you won't see it in the manufacturing file. Okay, don't forget that. So click OK, and then he automatically created an outside bleed on a layer. Okay, that's quite nice also. You can do the same thing with the varnish. So he knows this goes here. So it's way further than what I would do, but I could say that. And no, this is not what I want. Right. I'm going to do it again. Up. Okay, 4 and external. I'm going to leave it at 8. Okay, like that. You can also change if you want. Like I saw some clients having some varnish with really not with no angle here. You can do that also. So now I got in my layers, I got my outside coating that is created, my outside bleed, and my 3D assist. So I got all that. And okay. So now what I'm going to do is also show you the artwork panels.
Sorry, Sylvie,
So,
actually, before we move on, Sylvie, and I think this question is relevant to what we've just shown. Are these options available in version 20.0.1? Maybe difficult for you to answer without checking, but
yeah, I would have to check, but I think
yeah.
yes. I think
Yes, okay.
these options are, I think so, but not to say something stupid. I would like prefer to check because I don't know all the versions of
No,
artioscad. I know the 7.6 version got quite nice. I didn't have this, but yeah.
Okay, thanks, Sylvie.
You're welcome. So artwork panels right here. These are very important for pre-press because who never had a production come out with a font that is upside down? I think no one. You always have that. Always. It just pops up like, how come did we have this? Did anybody check? Yeah. So good for that. So here you can say that you can have the art orientation. So here you can say that this is the front or the other way. Maybe, yeah. No, this could be the yeah, I'll put the front here. Then I'll put the back over there, but you can do whatever you want. It's just me. Yeah, the way I created my design, he's putting the orientation like kind of weird way, but I can change that afterwards. So right, left, this is the inside. So front, this is the right, and this is the left. Okay, then we have ink-free parts like this, like that, and like this one. And this is the top. Okay, then you'll say click OK. You have, this is quite nice because then you won't have any font going into the crease because that happens again. And you could double click on the panel and you change the angle. So let's say this. You can also change completely the name considering the way you work in your company. So yeah, well, that's good, Sylvie. That's very good. Minus 90 would be better. Up, there we go. So we got the front. Put it like this. This one would be minus 90 also. Yeah. And this one minus 90 also. There we go. And my back, same thing. So now I'm all good with that. I can see it in 3D. So you can send this 3D to your pre-press department so they have a good overview of what's happening. So as you can see, I have a hard time moving it. It's like wiggling way bizarrely. It's because the panel I selected is on the bottom. So if it's better for me to change, like to tip it over, yeah, like that. So, and yeah, I changed the angle. of it, didn't I? Yeah. That this is when you say, come on. So it's because I moved this one earlier. And yeah, you can see that my perspective is really bad. So you can click on here and click your really good, your perspective, because my eyes are bleeding when it does that. So now you can see front panel, back panel, left and right. And yeah, this would be the inverse, but yeah, don't matter for now. So this you can send to your pre-press department easily by doing an output with plot PDF U3D. So this will generate a really like light PDF that it's easy for them, so they can wiggle it around and see how it works, how it has to be. And again, if they're working with RPro Plus or with Illustrator, all your layers are here. So they can toggle on and off the layer, but they see it. So if afterwards you got font upside down, yeah, that's not, yeah, that's another story. So now,
Sylvia, we have a question there. How well could you view the 3D model from different angles without using the view angle camera tool? I think the question is there a shortcut to maybe view at preset angles? I think that's the question.
I think yes, you can preset some angles, but that's a different question, and it goes into yeah. I think it's possible, but I need to, yeah. That could be good to go if you want a demo on that, or because that's more specific. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be able to, yeah, explain that all
Yeah,
that.
understood. And
But
just,
yes, I think so.
I mean,
Yes.
at the end of this session, guys, we'll cover this. But if anybody wants, some time with Sylvie to go into these features in any more detail or anything a little bit more specific, we can arrange that after the call for sure. Okay, Sylvie,
Yeah.
I'll let you continue there.
Okay. Thank you. So now what I'm going to do is go with this file into the layouts. So we have different sorts of layouts. Okay. So I'm just going to turn this back over here like that. Find it easier to see. Okay. Toggle off my dimensions and my 3D assist. Then I'm going to go into this little guy, standard sheet layout. What is that? This is the intelligent estimation or intelligent layout. So you click on there and you have this little menu where you can toggle on the kind of nesting that you would like. You have use gutter or touch bleed outline. Okay. And here you have standard sheets. So I incorporated into artioscad in my defaults the standard sheets. So I just select the ones that I want, and artioscad is going to show me all the possibilities of layouts that I would have on the sheets with the waste percentage, because now this is very important. So you just go down and just see which one would be the most relevant for you, and you select it. So, and you have the amount also of one-ups on there. So, but this is, yeah, instead of wasting an hour and a half, 2 hours just playing around with and counting the number, the amount of parts do you have on there, because I used to do that. So yeah, this is way easier. So yeah, and the fact that you can use the gutter for the pre-press, it's way easier afterwards also. So here, yeah, you have a lot of different designs. So if I make layout, it goes back to manufacturing and you have your layout. Okay. So that's one thing. I'll go back to where I showed you. So here's standard sheet layout. Okay. And you start. It does not work with different parts. You have to have one part. Doesn't work with different parts. Okay. This is a limitation. Manual layouts. So here I go to convert to manufacturing. In there you have your equipment. So BOPST. I'm going to take a metric and metric. Yes. Yes. And here you can toggle on the view, because sometimes a lot of people ask me, where do I see how can I see my bleed? You got here, outside bleed. Where is it? Outside bleed. So you toggle it on. And I just saw that I had a little issue before, so it's normal that it's not showing. But I'm going to show outside coating. So see, you got your outside coating here. So for now, so normally, yeah, it's because I'm just going to come back here, but I just saw that I had my outside bleed that is grayed out, but I don't really know why it's doing that. So that's quite kind of weird. I have to ask. Anyway, coming back here, you just select your 1-up and you just select the kind of nesting that you would like. And just, yeah, see, like that. So it's quite easy to use, okay? So this is a different way of doing, different ways of doing layouts. Now you have the third way. It's in Canvas. The layouts in Canvas, I'm going to go afterwards because I'm going to create a rebuildable Canvas design, and I'll do layouts over there. Okay, so you'll see the layouts in Canvas. So I don't know how much time I'm at already. How much time do I have left? I'm already at 39, 40 minutes. 1 hour and 20.
Yeah, an hour 20 left, Sylvie.
Okay, so now let's go on for the big part. I'm going to clear this and new canvas. So you can create a canvas directly from here. Okay. So I'm going to take, I'm going to select a material, but you can select afterwards whatever material you want, because Canvas is all about that. You can select the material you want. So for now, I'm going to take a B flute. There we go. So here is Canvas, and what I'm going to do is create a design with 2 parts in that design. First of all, I'm going to create the front view and the side view of my design, and then for my drawing information, and then going from there, I'm going to create my 2 parts, okay? Those 2 parts will be linked to my drawing. So afterwards, I'm going to put variables on my drawing, and that will change the different parts. So let's start from here. My part 1 is not production, okay? I'm going to toggle it as non-production. So you see it's grayed out. It's not going to be part of my cutting file and stuff like that. So from here, I'm going to take my rectangle and say that I want it 400 by 600. So for now, I'm using dimensions. Then I will change it in an edit log to be something else than variables, okay? Then I extend this line and extend my panel. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Yeah, see, this is one thing that I always forget. I stick to my geometric macros over here, so I have to click on rectangle from line again. Okay, so I click, I drag, and here I'm going to put 200 for now. I'm going to change this over here. Okay, so we got back view and side view. Okay, I'm not going to create my front view because yeah, I don't have any. So this is really just an example. It's not something that yeah I will just throw into production. Yeah, it's just an example. So now my part one, I'm going to double click on my part one and say this is my drawing info. Okay, so I remember that. Then you right click and you say you want to create part. This time you can see that it's linked to the material. Okay, I'm just going to move this one because I like my little lines over there. And take my part two like that. Okay, and now I'm going to use my drawing to create my parts. So I'm going to take this time my line. So I can start from my my intersection here or not, as you want. So I'm not going to do that. So I'm press start the 0, then enter. So to say that it's horizontal, really a good line, a straight line. Then instead of putting a dimensions, I'm gonna say that my dimension here is linked to my drawing. So I'm gonna press space bar and say that I want this dimension. Okay, so it's taking it. And why is it? I know. Yeah. Okay, you can see that I just did a mistake. It's linked to this part because it's blue. So I select my part and then I start drawing. Okay, then press space bar. I say that I want this one. Okay, so it sticks to my part 2. Again, 0, enter. Then again, space bar. And I want this dimension. Okay. Then again, 0 to make a straight line. Then space bar. This time I'm going to take this line because it's the same as the bottom. And same thing, 0, space bar. And I'm going to take this dimension. There we go. So now I'm going to drag my line to make a panel, but I want a crease type. So don't forget to toggle this on. So I extend, then again, I press space bar and I want to have this dimension. Then I just change my angle with my point. So here, oh no, what is it? Where is it? Where is it? I always get lost with this one. Yeah, it is that. Okay. So this one, and I just put it back over here. And I want to draw a glue flap on this side. So what I'm going to do, yeah. Anybody wants to have lunch? No, you want to see the artioscad free training. So here I'm going to take this one again and change it to glue flap. Okay, over here. I extend, and this time instead of putting a dimension of my glue flap, I'm already going to enter some variables because it's easier. So I'm going to say GF for glue flap. Okay, you can see it down here. I press enter. He's saying that, yeah, the expression is a variable. And you come back here. I'm going to say that this is a main menu because everything's going to go back in that menu. And I'm going to say that the glue flap, I want to be 40. And description is very important to know what is GF afterwards, because then if you have to remember everything, it gets hard. Glue flap, I add variable. I'm going to change my angle to 20 because I prefer. And I'm just going to cut it with this line because then we're going to see the glue flap over here. So I'm just going to make a mirror of this one. Put it here. And I got some shortcuts on my keyboard to, yeah, cut the stuff. There we go. So I forgot this one. This is my first part. Then I'm going to create my second part. So again, create part. So we have part 3 that is linked to the same material here. Okay. Then again, I'm just going to move my stuff. There we go. And have my part 3 on my axis like I like. Okay. Then my second part will be with the front view. So the front side, the front, the front. And my side that comes and glues and gets glued here. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing. So 0. And I'm going to start. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do just a copy paste of this one and just flip it around. There we go. So I got exactly the same values as here. Okay, I didn't do anything. The only thing I'm going to do is tell him that I need what I'm going to do is use this one, and I'm going to say that I want it at a certain point, like that. So I'm going to cut my line, so split line here, this one, cut the line and extend. And again, I forgot it's my glue flap again. See, geometric macros. So I have to select rectangle from line. I extend, I press space bar, and I say I want the same dimensions as this one. Okay. This line becomes a crease, and I want to create my glue flap over here. So again, I take this cool tool, I take my glue flap, and now I just put in GF, and he will know exactly what I want. Just need to change the angle. There we go. So, and yeah, I forgot this is a cutting line and not a grease line anymore. So properties and cut. Oops, sorry for that. So,
Sylvia, just a question here. Well, there's actually 2 questions. One question is, what's for lunch? Now, that's not an easy one to answer, and we're unable to supply food virtually until the technology allows.
Maybe later. So maybe later.
That would be nice. Elon Musk is working on a solution for that one. Can we have different materials for different parts inside the same canvas?
Yes, of course, of course. Okay. That is the whole deal of Canvas. For now, this is just one material, but I'll just open another file where you will see that there's different parts with different materials. Okay, but for this example with StyleMaker, I'll stick with one type of material. I know I can change the material afterwards. I'll do that. So now I come back to this. I have my 2 parts. So here I'm going to call it body 1. So I don't get lost, because when you have like 15 parts, you get lost. Body 2. There we go. And forgot my space. Sorry. Kind of So, and now what I'm going to do is put dimensions on it. So when I change and I rebuild it, you will see that everything is linked to my drawing info. So 46, 600, 400. This one is the same thing. Up. This. My glue flap also. There we go. And same thing here. There. And my glue flap. Ugh, yeah. Put it this one also. There we go. So we have all the dimensions everywhere, so I can show you that effectively it is going to be rebuilt. I'm just putting my stuff nicely. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is do an edit log. So a rewind drawing on this part. So what I'm going to do is go to design and rebuild playback. And here you can see that you can just play around with this and go back to where I started. Okay, now I'm here. I'm going to press on edit right there. And he's going to open this. And you could say, whoa, well, no, I don't want to see this. Okay, you don't have to go through all this. Okay, this is, yeah, I used to have that rejection thingy when I see this. He's already selecting the 400 and 600, but so you really don't have to do much. So here for my 600, I'm going to put H, okay, for the height. Press OK. He's telling you this. Oh, be careful. This is a variable. Yes, that's what I want. He's putting it in the main menu, and I'm putting current value, same thing, same as 600 for the moment, and saying this is the height. Okay. Did I write it correctly? Yes. Add variables. Then same thing with the length. So L. Okay. And for the moment, stick to what did I put? 400. Hopefully I put 600 before, don't remember, but anyway, we'll see. So length, add variable, then we'll go to the next part. So you can see here, so he's putting my offset, and he's saying that he put it at 200. So this will be the depth. Okay. Again, add variable, say this is 200, this is the depth, and add variable. And for the rest, I think we're all good. So I say okay, and I say okay here, and he's going to finish the design. There we go, with all my stuff that I need. Now that's when I cross my fingers and I hope that my thing is gonna work. Because yeah, but it's gonna work, don't worry. So I press here, rebuild. So you got multi-part design and it's already rebuildable. So I click here, you get in your menu. But so if you want further information or training on this, because StyleMaker is quite, it's complex. So you need to understand that you can put a drawing over here and the way you have to do it. But I'm not going into that today because then it's going to be way too long for everybody. So here, I just change my stuff. So 600, I'm going to put 1,000. So we see the difference. And 400, I'm going to put, I don't know, like 750. And here I'm going to put 500. Make it a little bit, and my glue flaps, I'm going to change. I can change it. I'm going to put it at 60. Okay. And I'm going to press previous. And there you can change. Instead of B flute, I'm going to put EE flute. It's like this one. Up. And there you go. You got 750, 1,000. You got 660 here, 500. So and I did something wrong here. So you see, this has to be, did I forget? I forgot to name it. I forgot to name it here. So no problem. So see, sometimes it's a live demo. Huh? I can't be perfect sometimes. So rebuild playback and edit. Yeah, it's better if I rebuild like this.
Sylvie, we have another question. Can those components then be expanded out to the ARD file for incorporating into an MFG for form making, for die making?
Yes. That's the whole point afterwards. That's what I'm going to show. Yeah.
Excellent.
So just let me grab the error I just did because it's my first line, in fact. HD. But I did take my L here. Why is he not? I dragged it to the other side. Yeah, something's weird. Why is he doing that? He's changing it here, but not over there and not there. I know. It's because I did. See, you always learn. I took it from this instead of constructing it and taking the lines from it. So that's why it's not working. So I should have studied. So never do a copy. That's the thing to know. Okay. Never do a copy of this. So hopefully I won't mess it around again. So I'm going to do it quickly because I hate doing stuff and it's not working. This is just not possible. There we go. 0. Okay. Then I take this. Doop. And I'm going to cut my line. Yeah. I don't really care where. Just extend. And I'm still in my glue flap again. So you select rectangle from line. Then press spacebar. Say this is the size that you want. And create your glue flap over there. So then again, glue flap. And I'm going to change GF. And I want 20. There we go. So let's see if now everything is fine. Just going to put my dimensions back. And sorry for this error. That's my bad. Sometimes you want to go too quick and yeah. So rebuilt. Let's go back to 800 here, 500 over there, and 350. And my glue flap would be 35. There we go. See? Ta-da! Okay. So now you can see there's two sorts of. So when I changed my my material. So here now you have two types of material. So I'm just gonna take, say, this is body 2. And I'm gonna go in 3D just to show you. Okay. Up, there we go. So we got two types of material in 3D. So you got B flute and E flute. So I just want to show you one thing also, is that this little guy, define mate areas, works from part to part. That's a good thing. So you just say this goes here. And when I'm going to fold it, it's going to fold automatically. And this one, yeah, this is the tricky part, but it's okay with that. I just need to measure here because there's an angle. So he's annoying me for that. So 445, I'm just going to put it at up 445 and put it here like it is. So I just incorporate it right where it has to go. Doop. And put it over here. Tick. Oh yeah. There we go. So when I go in 3D now, my glue assist is going to work from one part to another. And did I, wait, just a second, just see if it works. Yep. And mate. So you see, you don't have to, play around with it. So then again, see, if you don't have 3D, you do a prototype, you use material for nothing, you see this after, because that is the sort of thing that just comes up afterwards. So 3D is very useful for that. Then again, you see your glue flat by transparency. Okay, so that was for the style maker and the canvas. Then again, my thingy has to be upside down like that. There we go. I come back to my canvas, and now what you want to do is, like the question was, can I do my layouts from here? Yes, you select your material, you create the layout. You can select also, if you have multiple parts, you can select the ones that you want. You have your standard sheet layouts here that are incorporated in your defaults. So from here, I'm going to take a big one. I'm going to do 0 gutter. So from here, you can say that you want like 100 of display, or you just fill a sheet because you want an estimation, some for the salespeople. Here, I'm going to say that I want 200 of those because he's going to create my layout. You don't want any or 180 rotation because of the flute. And here I would say minimal layout. If you want fill a sheet, you can say minimal waste and create. So he's going to create your layout. So here you can see that he's telling you that you want 16 times this sheet and 1 time that one, because it doesn't say anything. And if you're not okay with the disposition or anything, if you want to put gutter, you can say that you want 10 millimeters of gutter, recalculate, and there you go. You got a gutter of 10 millimeters. So it's easy, quick. You don't play around with Tetris. It's yeah, even if I like that game. And you can also, if you want, so this is for digital finishing, cutting machine, but you could do a die cut. So you click on layout and convert to manufacturing. So that's possible too. Okay, so it sends it directly to manufacturing. Okay, so we're done with this one. I showed everything. I showed the glue. And now what I'm going to do is go into enterprise. So is there any other questions that I can answer or anything?
There's nothing in there at the moment, Sylvie. Before Sylvie
Okay.
moves on, this is a good time, I guess, if anyone has any more questions about anything they've seen in this first hour. This would be a good time. And also, guys, you'll see that there's a poll question just dropped in. The question is, would you be interested in a personalized artioscad training session? So obviously we can offer that as a service. We can come to site or do that remotely for you, and we can make it very tailored to your requirements. So if anybody has any interest or need for any kind of personalized artioscad training, or if you don't, in fact, if you can answer yes or no, that would be great. I'm going to answer yes because I definitely need artioscad training, Sylvie.
I can do that for you, John. Yeah, I just wanted to show one file that we have with the different materials, so you have a good overview of the different materials. Let me just get it. And so here you have different sorts of material. So you got the sides, and my layout's already done. So the sides that are in acrylic, because it's linked to the sides. I have my ACM 2 millimeters for the front and the back. Okay. And I have folding carton for all the little boxes that I may use in my design. If I go in 3D, no, I don't want to add it to my 3D. I just want to see it. There you go. You got your design. We got hooks because we have library of hooks also. You can customize it. You can add your own equipment or material that you would be using, saying this is non-production afterwards. When you do your reports, I'm going to show you a report also. So yeah, this is for the Canvas file. If you have Studio, good thing also. Studio is our plugin for Illustrator. You can open ACD files, so Canvas files. You have your whole whole display like this one that pops up in Studio and just place your artwork for the prepress. So it's quite easy. So that's what I was talking about. You have your equipment, the number of hooks that you may have. So in Canvas, you don't forget the equipment. So the parts that you don't produce, because that was something that I used to just forget all the time. I didn't put it in my reports, and the holes. So once you, I'm not going to show it now, but once you incorporate a hook, the holes are created automatically. You don't have to do anything. So here on the holes, you have the reference of the hook, so you don't forget anymore, and the holes are created automatically. So from here, I already created my layouts. So you can see the layouts with the holes. If you change something in the reference part, you already did all your layouts, and he comes back and says, yeah, you forgot my hole or something here. No problem. You just add what he wants. So I'm just going to add a hole right here. And you will see that my reference part, my layout is linked to my reference part. So you don't have to play around and put your hole everywhere, because yeah, in production, again, you maybe have one hole not placed the same as the others, but you didn't see it. That's bad. So again, so this is quite nice. Now for the report, I'm just going to unclick my layouts and put my graphic design back on and show you a report, bill of materials. And yes, preview. So you have here my two sides that I would need. The blank side, sorry, the rule length. But this is customizable. So again, if you need training for the reports, customized reports, this is very interesting, because I used to put a lot of efforts and time into creating reports and doing one by one sheets of A4 instead of having this all done already. So you got front and side, front and back, sorry, back and front. One's required for the job. You got your packs that you would need. Same thing here. You can incorporate also your layouts, but we have reports, automatic reports for layouts with all the information that you would need. Okay. So that was for the question that you asked, and now I'm going to go deep into. I'm going to dive into enterprise. So let's get out of here. Loop. Loop. There we go. And here is enterprise. So you put in your login. Okay.
Sylvie, just one last question there before you move on to artioscad Enterprise.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a couple there. Can I export out of artioscad for printing? So I guess the question there is,
no. It's just a view of your. You cannot export for printing. It's just a view. If you want to do that, you need Studio, because then you have your printing item, your prints. That is, yeah, you can use your print. So R Pro Plus, because we have Studio and R Pro Plus, or the plugin of Illustrator Studio. Okay.
Yeah. Another question here. So I don't know if you'll have time to show this or not, but if possible, can we see how to add the hooks and from where?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I have time. So So I'm just going to take my back. So I'm just going to create a simple sheet and put the hooks on it to show you how it works. So I'm going to take B flute. There we go. Then just create a sheet. If I go too fast again, don't hesitate to tell me. And I go in 3D. So you can see my sheet. I'm just gonna change the so it's standing up. There we go. And on that sheet, I want to incorporate some hooks. You got here, so you need the 3D modeling or 3D prime to have that. If you do not have that module, yeah, don't waste time searching for those. Okay, so add hardware. Here you have your library. So I'm just gonna take, I don't know, one of these that we use generally. Area placement, then you just place it. Okay. You can just play around with this, or if you have your pack, you can incorporate your pack. So what I'm going to do is cancel this and add a design to my little sheet. So I'm just going to open, no, not that, beep, beep, beep. This one. But do I have it in 3D? Is it he going to open it into, yeah. Oh, that's magnificent. See, okay, so I'm just going to move it like that. So you have your little pack and you have, well, a display. So again, add hardware. Take, it's kind of big. Yeah? Area placement, I place it. And instead of playing around with that, I just click on my pack. He's going to place the pack exactly how it fits the best way. And then you just add some packs on there. If you add too much, it's going to warn you. It's going to become red. So it's easy. Okay. So you got your packs over there. And when you're finished, you click on update your 2D. If you update your 2D, I'm going to come back here. And you can see that my holes have been created with my hooks and I didn't do anything. Okay. So that was easy. It's easy when you have the module, but it's a great module and really you just don't lose time with all that stuff. You just have all the time to create for your creativity instead of wasting your time with limitation. Use the automation is like, yeah, is way better. So that was for this one. Then, okay, I'm going to go back to my enterprise version. There's no more questions.
No, we're up to date on the questions there, Sylvie.
Okay, good. So I'm back in my enterprise version. Now here, what I'm going to do is go directly into Web Center because this is linked, of course, to Web Center. Okay, so I get in and I have like a demo sort of to show you how it works because this is management workflow. So I'm going to create a new a new request. So coming from a client. Okay. So new packaging request. You have your order name. Okay. So I could say for free training online. Okay. Online. This comes from Ghent because I'm here in Ghent. And the due date, that's very important, having a due date. Let's say it's going to be for the 6th of December. The description, creating an outer case for, for my packaging, my packs. So here I implemented, so this is all customizable. This is not just fixed. You can do whatever you want and not whatever you want, but you can really customize a lot of things in Web Center. So you can run a standard. or implement, you can put a button where you say I upload my structural design. So, but here I'm going to take my 201, okay, and just enter some dimensions. So again, I like my super dimension. Oops, yeah, okay, that's good. Then I say that, or it could be also instead of going to your studio to do that, just normal FFCO 201, your sales could just enter those dimensions, what he needs, and it's done. He doesn't want to waste the studio, the structural design studio time. So that could be also a good thing. And this time I want BC Flute and to select your board. Graphics needed? Yes. Let's say yes. So if I say no, see, I have my pop-up menu that goes out. If I say yes, I can already grab my file and incorporate it or not. Then 3D rendering. No, for now, I'm not gonna talk about that. But you can put your reports, your manufacturing layouts, your 3D rendering. So you can do all that. So create my request. And now he's going to create my managing workflow. So it's going to go to the different people that are working in my company. So first, the structural. Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, internet is slow today. So I'm the one doing everything, so I have to refresh a lot. Huh? So here you have the way that it's going to run. So the design, review, design request, that is done because I already incorporated it into my dimensions. If I have a problem or I want to add something, I'll add afterwards my handholds, like sort of I forgot my handholds. Then the structural design approval going to client. So it sends an email to the client with a link, and I'll show you what they see for approval. Then it comes back saying the client approved. I can go to the next step. It's sent to who has to do it, like here the graphic designer. I import my design, and again it comes back to customer approval for the design. So let's start with that. So here, structural design. So this is done. I'm okay. I'm going to say complete task. It's done. You can see that I have my little flag done. Now it's going to go back and say, are you sure this is one step that I created that I wanted? Okay. You maybe don't want that step, but sometimes it's good. So here, structural designer, create edit. So I'm just going to refresh. So it comes back here. You can see that my structural designer has the file and he says, ooh, we forgot the handholds. Okay. You don't want to go back to artioscad. You can go back directly to artioscad from here. So I open it via, and he's going to open in artioscad directly. So you don't have to search for your file because you don't want to lose time. Then I'm going to add my handholds via my geometric macros like I usually do. Oops. Okay. Put them at 50 and at 50. This is done. I'm all good. And I'm going to save. So it's going to save into my my request that has been made. So here I can say I added some handholds. Okay, save. So it's going to be a new version. So it's going to update. Okay. Here you have all your database information that goes back to Web Center because it's the database is Web Center. Okay, now I'm going back to my Web Center and I'm refreshing. I want to check if something has changed here. So I'll check. And yes, see? So everything is linked together. You don't have to go and manipulate whatever. Everything is linked. So here I'm going to say, okay, I saw that you put in some handholds. I'm going to thank him. Thank you for your handholds. There's no emails going back and forth. Maybe you sent it to somebody else. No. You have your discussion, internal discussion. You can have discussion with your clients, but there's no emails going back and forth and exchange and whatever. Everything is centralized. Okay. So this time this is good. I'm okay with this. I'm going to send it to the client. So here you can see now. So the flag, I refresh because I'm doing everything, and now it's customer approval. So I'm going to the approval cycle. And I have to refresh again. And where is it? There we go. So here, structural design approval. So this is sent to the client. So he gets a link and he will see this. Okay. So here the client can really just, zoom in, zoom out, see the dimension if they want to see how much it is. Okay, like that too. To be sure, whatever. They can leave a comment. They can share. Sorry. They can see if there's dynamic content. Yeah, they can do a bunch of stuff. And approve or reject. So if they approve, commit approval, it goes back to Web Center. And now my graphic designer is aware that the customer approved and he has to put in his file. So at each stage, it changes. So here now, customer approval, it's good. We're done. So my graphic designer has to incorporate, input my design. So browse. I'm just gonna put this one. There we go. I save. And I'm going to say that this is the task is completed. Then it's going to go to customer approval again. He's going to get an email saying, please check and approve what we just did. So customer approval gets this file. He doesn't have to have Illustrator or whatever. He just opens it in the viewer. What did I just do? Oh, yeah. I just want to view it. Okay. No, what is he doing? Okay, live demo. I don't know why he doesn't want to open it. Can I open it? Can I see something, please? Okay. So normally he sees like what we just saw, but I don't know
so it's
why.
because the file is still getting checked and registered by Web Center. If you refresh your browser, it takes a
Okay. Thank
moment
you.
to it takes a moment to process the file.
Okay. That's why.
There we
Now
go.
we're okay. That's my bad. I still have a lot to learn, John.
Yeah, and just while Sylvie's on this, obviously what Sylvie's showing here is another product. It is our Web Center product, and it's it's very highly configurable. There's a way it's been configured here to show the management of the CAD process. But if you look on the website, if you're not a Web Center user and you're curious, we can do lots of other things with it. So it's but this use case is it's replacing the artioscad database, and it's enabling people to kind of work from anywhere. Usually with your artioscad configuration, you have a local database that you will point to. When you move it to the Web Center environment, as it's a web-facing solution, you can have operators literally set anywhere, and they can point to this common database across the web. So that's and when they open the files as well, when you're using the artioscad Enterprise edition, you're opening data straight from the Web Center file store as well. So as well as centralizing the artioscad database, you're also centralizing the data, the files themselves. But anyway, Okay, Sylvie?
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, so as John said, yeah, I didn't refresh, so I couldn't see the window that the customer would see. So you can see that as version 1. If you have different version, they can compare also. They can put both on the same window and compare. So that's nice also. So here they approve, of course. And we're going back to our management cycle. So now you can see that everything has been completed. So we're done. There's time left, and they can also create some outputs. So you can really, if they want certain files, where is it? No, it's here. No. Oh, this is going to my mail. Ugh. And now I'm lost again. Nope. Yeah, so here it was where I was, but so here they can instead of creating an art, so going back to artioscad, outputting all these files or formative files, you can come here and just send whatever you want, whatever is needed. It can be also really fixed to a certain formative file. As also, if the graphic designer has to put a file in for the prepress and it has to be an AE file, not a PDF, you can restrict and say it has to be an AE, nothing more, because a PDF can be a lot of things. Okay, so this is all about Web Center and the management cycle. And here, if I go back now to my corrugated home, you can see that this is completed. I still have one job that is not completed. So I got one that is an output and one completed. So you got the different stage of review. This is really, really, really helpful. So this was for Web Center and Enterprise. I think we have time now for Q&A because I covered everything. I think I did it way faster than normal.
Yeah, we still have lots of people on the call there. So if anybody has any questions, we've still got half an hour, Sylvie, right? To before we were planning on ending the call.
Yeah, and having lunch.
And having some real lunch. Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead for the questions. We'll try to be ready.
Just had another poll question drop in, guys. So the question is, would you like a follow-up demo of some of the features that we showed today? So what we're saying here is, appreciate Sylvie's done a great job, but we've only got a limited time frame. If there's anything there that you've seen that you'd like maybe Sylvie to just give you a little bit more of an insight into, if you want that, if you say yes, if you're very happy and Sylvie's done an amazing job and everything was clear, then I guess you'd press no. Well, you're going to be busy, Sylvie.
What?
You're going to be busy. There's lots of people,
lots of questions.
Lots of people interested in seeing some more, a more bespoke kind of demo. But yeah, thank you, everybody. So let's just answer the questions. Okay, so I think there may be a question that we may have missed. Somebody saying, is there a shortcut to rotate the view in 3D? This person saying, like using the middle mouse button to pan around, for example. And this person thinks maybe that they've seen you do it, but they're not finding the key combination or where it is.
Okay, so for your mouse, it's in the standard, the defaults. So here you have your defaults, and you have your you have to say mouse. So startup mouse settings, And here you can like, yeah, you have your pan view. So here you can, I do it with this one, and I put my pan view on the the drag for design view and 3D view. I change view angle here. So if you change it, so you go in your defaults, just right mouse, and then in startup defaults, you have mouse settings. Okay, was that it?
I think so.
Okay, and yeah, you got also here. Yeah, you can change those
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another question, Sylvie. How do you install customized boards that are not in the standards? Is
Ah,
that possible?
yes, of course. So the customized boards are in the data center. If you don't have enterprise, if you have enterprise, it's in web center. But if you don't, it's in data center. So here, data center, you have boards, and you can see that you have all your boards, normal original boards, and you can check that I have die bond wood OSB that I created, and you have here little, just looks like a door that you go in, and here you can enter some board code description with the caliper inside laws, blah blah. And when you do that, you can enter also texture, so you can have, like for my die bond, my OSB, and for my die bond, I created a texture. So if I go back to my artioscad and I say new custom design, and I go and get my super OSB. So yeah, artioscad doesn't do only cardboard, it does also quite nice stuff. So you can, yeah, you can see that my texture is really OSB. And same thing here, if I do properties, text, board information, and I change it to die bond, I have my die bond. So that's quite cool. You can really see the different types of texture coming from data center. Okay.
Now there's a
And you
question.
just enter here.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Sylvie, you're still
No,
going.
go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm
no, there's a
finished.
question here. I can answer this one. I think this relates to the view that we had in Web Center. Can the icons be bigger so we can view a file without the need to open? The answer to that would be yes. I mean, the configuration that we saw there today is that, Web Center is a customizable tool. So if you see things like document views and you want them to be much, much bigger, you can do that. But I think the reality is if you're going to go in and really get into the checking of a file using the QA tools and things, you'd still want to open it anyway. But certainly, if you just want to glance at it and maybe look at it and go, yes, it's the correct file or not the correct file, you want that icon to be bigger. That's a possibility when you configure Web Center. This one, Sylvie here, what functions that we've seen in the training need some extra bundles? So I guess this is relating more to the modular extras. So is there an easy way for you to describe that, Sylvie?
Yeah. So everything is what you have in 2D is the, like if you have permanent, I'll talk about permanent perpetual licenses first, and then I'll talk about subscriptions. So for perpetual, everything that you have in 2D, so your structural in 2D, that's 2D draft. When you get into 3D and you assembly some things like a display, you have to have 3D draft. You can do animations also with the 3D draft. When you start touching it with hardware or modifying your 3D, like using these tools, intersect and cross section tool, and or putting a standard around a pack that you just created, this is 3D modeling. Okay. So these are the three bundles. In the three bundles, to do manufacturing, so die tools, you need the option die tool. This is an option. Or another option is pre-flight, so the quality control. Okay, those are two options. The style maker and the layouts are also options that are added in the perpetual licenses. Now for subscription, it's quite the same thing. So, but it's different names. You have essentials. It's like 2D draft. advanced, that is like 3D draft, and you have prime, that is like 3D modeling. The only difference is that you have StyleMaker, so resizable design tools, and layouts incorporated in those bundles. Okay, the only options then are two: the die making and the pre-flight. Okay, was I clear?
Yeah,
If I'm not
makes,
clear, you can check on
yeah,
the website. There's info
yeah,
also, or you can contact us. We'll be happy to be
yeah,
clear with that because sometimes it's hard.
yeah. Now we have two attendees, I think, asking the same question here, so I'm going to kind of combine them. So, is there a way to add rule types to shortcuts? How can I add shortcuts such as cut, crease? I think this is more about personalizing shortcuts, Sylvie. What kind of options would we have there if you want a shortcut to make a cut line or a crease?
Uh,
Different
a
rulings on top.
shortcut. I wouldn't say shortcut, but
Yeah.
like here, you normally when you want to change the rule type, you just click and say properties. So it's a right click, and you select the rule type that you need. If it's a different sort of rule type that you just like here you have these ones, you can change them. So you can say that this is a special rule, and you create your special rule, you save it, and then it comes back to your geometrics, your here, the ones that you use. Because each time you use one, it's over here, so it comes back to the properties when you say right click. So this one. So yeah.
Okay, now another question, Sylvie. When in Canvas, can title filter to parts? So can title filter to parts without the need to type it in every time? Maybe is there a way to filter to parts without the need to type it in when you're in, I guess, when you're in multiple canvases? Does that make sense?
No, I think it's more that they don't have, like, if they create a tray, that it automatically knows that it's a tray. I don't think so. I think you still need to type
You
the
just need to
the
assign
the
a
the,
name
the
to it.
name in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So lots of questions coming through, guys. Thanks for this. And just to clarify that, so the intelligent layout needs which module, Sylvie?
Layout module.
The layout module, yeah.
Yep.
In the standard sheet layout, the layout is exported to an MFG file. Is it possible to keep the new layout within the original design file, i.e. not have an MFG file?
Wait.
Yeah, no, I
Can
think
you say that again?
so. Yeah, so I think the question is, in standard sheet layout, the layout is so what when you're making your layouts currently, Sylvie, you're making an MFG file, right?
Yeah.
Now this, and I don't know what the use case is here, but this attendee is asking: is it possible to keep the layout within a design file? So I'm guessing not, because the design file is the one up,
Yep.
right?
Yes. So you got ARD file and MFG.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to know what the use case is, but certainly the standard way of doing it would be, to make the MFG file from the ARD data.
But you can incorporate new ARD into your MFG file, so that's possible.
Yeah. I mean, as well, if you wanted to move into our automated pre-press solutions, and you're looking to do automated imposition, the MFG file is really useful in that scenario. So, it's definitely
for the
worth
printing
using.
items.
Yeah. Can you make a cut crease where the crease is continuous and not segmented?
So cut crease.
Can you make a cut crease where the crease is continuous, not segmented? Yeah.
Cut and crease where the crease is continuous and not segmented. Like, I don't get the question.
Yeah, I think so. By default, Sylvie, I guess the crease line is like a dashed line.
It's like here you have like cut crease, cut crease,
Yeah,
cut crease.
yeah. Now
But
again,
then they can modify it here with the length but it will always be cut crease.
Segmented.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Again, it's difficult to know what the use case would be there, but
Yeah, it's better than if you really have like specific stuff to ask for,
yeah,
like for support or ask for a demo, because
yeah,
it's hard to know what you're talking
sure.
about without
Yeah,
seeing. Yeah, that's why I
yeah,
ask always the clients for file, because then I see how they work.
yeah. A couple of comments, Sylvie, not questions. One is Sylvie for president, so I guess that means you're doing a great job. And the
Yay!
other
Thank you.
very kind of people to make these comments. Another one is I'd like to say that Sylvie has done a great job presenting, very knowledgeable. Thank you for putting on this webinar. So you're doing a
You're
great job,
welcome.
Sylvie. Keep it
With
up.
pleasure. Here for that.
So we've got some more questions coming through. So let me try and pick out some that here that we've missed. There's a lot here. Again, this probably not understanding the use case here, but can you export the MFG to a PDF and then reopen it back into artioscad? I mean, I guess you could, but I don't know why you'd want to do that, right, Sylvie? I mean, I don't know what the use case would be there. You're going to lose,
No,
you're going to lose all the intelligence and the kind of geometry from the file.
Yeah, you can export from an MFG for with a PDF, yes, but yeah, I wouldn't do that. Or you save your MFG, because if you have something to change, you'll have to change your PDF if you didn't incorporate in the defaults when opening the types of line. You will have to select the lines to say this is crease, this is cut, this is gonna be a So.
Okay. Now another question: when do you work with projects? Is this different to Canvas? Now, the projects, what's that relating to there? Do you think,
So
Sylvie?
project Canvas is project. So a Canvas file is, so the ACD file is a project because it's created with parts, so with ARDs. So each time I save an ACD file, I'm gonna show it. So if I take my, like this one, okay, I'm gonna save it. No. Up. So save as. Yeah. Yes. Okay. See, he's going to save your ACD file, so your project with all the parts, but he's saving also ARDs, because these ARDs are part of this project ACD file. So you'll have ARD, all the little ARDs next to your ACD file. If you want to change something to your to one of the parts, you can open the part you want to change. You don't have to open again the ACD file, and it's linked to the ACD file. Okay. And it warns you also if somebody changed something, but he really did, he just quit, or the computer just shut off without saving. He will warn you that something is changed in that ARD file, considering that it's linked to an ACD file.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sylvie. Where is the marry tool for 3D in brackets glue flaps? So where
the main tool.
Marry? Are we saying marry? I mean, I'm married, but I don't know what the marry tool would be. Where is the marry tool for 3D glue flaps? Would that make sense?
Yeah, it's the mate. So if I go back
mate,
to so wait, I'll just do just gonna take a folding carton to change. So, and show you something else that I didn't show on the same occasion. So yeah, this is folding carton. I take 350 and I'm gonna incorporate some stuff. Some dimensions. 120. Okay. So you have to mate first in the 2D file. So you mate here. So this one. And you can see that he's already seeing, and he's already seeing also for the automatic bottom. That's cool also because it works. And when you go back to 3D, new 3D, yes, I'm going to open this cool box. And you have to click on this one, mate all. And he's going to mate it. And now that what I didn't show is that and also showing where is the glue is here. So mate them and then show it. Okay. That was the question, hopefully.
Yeah, that was. Okay, just picking through. I don't know whether you'll have time for this, Sylvie, again, but we've got a couple of people asking to see how to use the curve tool in 3D.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's easy. So I'm going to come back here. Yeah. So here for the curve tool, you have to use the bending lines. So for the bending lines, I'm going to just add some bending lines. You have to have a part that is in between. So here I'm going to put 2 bending lines on both sides. So for now it's cutting lines, but I select them, go property, and I'm going to say that I want bending lines, and it's in utility, bend, right there. And it looks quite like a crease line, but it's, yeah, it is like this. So now when you go in 3D, okay, you got your flat sheet. You take this one, panel bend, click on your part, and you bend the sheet. Okay, like that. So this is quite nice. There we go. And I'm just going to do something just to show you that 3D modeling is really cool. Just going to bend it a bit less because I still have time. Up. Take this, just put it back correctly like that. And I'm going to incorporate in my design. I'm going to go and fetch some cans. And add cans. So don't forget to say all files, but because then you're going to search for it a long time. And I'm going to take my can and incorporate into my bend. Imagine you would have like a shelf, and on your shelf, on your tray, you have a curved sheet on the top, and you want to put like some lipsticks in there. Just imagine that. Remember how it is awful to find the best way for the cutting angle and the stuff. Here, you just take this intersect design tool in 3D, and you got your hole that is created into your ARD, so your flat design. There you go. And you can see it here. So that's quite cool. There you go. Something else.
Brilliant. Okay, Sylvie, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So another question around canvases. Do you have to use a canvas when using StyleMaker, or can you do it in artioscad and then create a canvas?
Of
And
course.
will it still work if rebuilt
Yes.
in Canvas? That's possible.
So they want to start creating their design with StyleMaker and then go to Canvas.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. If it's rebuildable, it won't change anything. You can still do it directly from artioscad, and then just, so if you have like a, here I have a display. It's not rebuildable, but anyway, it's the same thing. So you got your display and my ARD. So this could be a display that you would have with different parts. You just click on Canvas. So here, convert to Canvas. and it splits everything into different parts. So you can see that here he already sees that it's 4 times the same part. He tells you. Then you got, so for the moment, because it was an ARD with the same material, when I go in 3D, we can see only the same material. It's all in reboard for the moment. Okay, so you can see it. Everything is in reboard. That's not what I want. I want this part, my to be in E flute. So you change it here. Up, there we go. So it separates. And I want my part 4, that is my blocker that goes into my trays, to be in EE flute. So corrugated EE flute. So you can start by doing your style maker and then going into canvas. It's the same thing. So here also one thing that I want to say is that he didn't do the same thing as for the part 4. There's 3's the same, but as one is different, he doesn't do it. So you need to delete it and say that this is 3 times. And at this point, you can go into 3D and see the different material. Yes, close per, yeah. So here you can see that he's telling you use canvas part or 3D information, because if you do that, you'll only have 1 blocker and 2 trays. That's not what I want. So use canvas part counts. And now you can see that we have the 4 blockers, my trays, and you can start building everything. And you got your different sorts of materials inside one project. Okay.
Brilliant. Okay, now we're almost caught up now with questions. So there's one more here if we get a chance to do it. Going back to data center, can you elaborate more on how I can add board types? And this particular user's made the comment they're using version 21.
Yeah. So here in the board, so you have to. Oh wait. So I get in. You have to select your artios. You can do a new folder. So new board. Up. And from here, you need to say that, like you can say, what am I going to create? Yeah, I don't want to say example board because I have no clue of what to do. Oh yeah, no, Forex. I'm going to say Forex. Forex is white. I don't really have texture, so okay. Caliper. So it does, let's say it's Forex of 5. 3 or 5? No, I'm going to say 3. So inside loss. Yeah. When you fold it, it's folded by heating. I don't know exactly the inside loss and the outside gain, so I'm just gonna put half because I have no clue exactly. I used to do half, but anyway, like that. So like this, same thing here. You got rounding values, basic weight. Yeah, you have if you're using cape, please put weight because then your cape is gonna get mad and it's not gonna work. So I'm just gonna put 0, 0, 2. I have no clue. Cost, I have no clue either. I don't care. Paper. So board, flute. Liner outside. Yeah, I'm not gonna change that. I don't care about this shininess. There's no shininess. So board outside color. Transparency, no transparency. I'm gonna select the color, so white. Inside board, so the side. So again, it's white, but maybe I can put it a bit gray so we see it. Okay, and texture. Texture. So here you can incorporate texture. You can download. I went for OSB. I went on internet. I downloaded a certain texture image. I incorporate, so you can put JPEG in there. You have to say how much, so make it big, because then if you do big parts, if you do small image, you have like imposition of the small image everywhere. It's going to be like really awful. But yeah, like that image within yeah, this is, yeah, I'm going to say proportional to height. So, and same thing here. Okay. No. What the board description must be. It was not okay. I forgot the board description. So here, what did I do? Oh no. Okay, good, very good, Sylvie. Come on. Refresh. What is he doing? I lost everything. What is he doing?
I think you covered the process there, though, didn't you, for setting the board up?
I'm gonna get completely insane. So yeah, so I forgot the description. So please put a description Forex of so plastic, or I don't know what that is, plastic 3 mil. There we go. So yeah, no paper, material properties. So the color, like I did. There's another question or not?
There's one last question, and I think that's great because we're very close to the end of the 2 hours now. So very specific, this one. Where is the crash lock base in geometry macros?
The crash lock base.
Yeah, is that clear to you, that question, Sylvie?
No.
Maybe not.
Wait. No. So in the what, in the tool that I showed, or?
I don't know, perhaps if that user could, the reply here is automatic bottom.
Yeah. So you can create, no, there's no automatic bottom in the geometric macros implemented for now, but you can create your own. So in the, no, I don't want to go there. So in the geometric macros, you have a lot of stuff already. So here are the glue flaps that you can incorporate. You have not an automatic, but a semi-auto. Yeah, those flaps, those sleeves, but you don't have for the moment those automatic bottoms. But you can create it and incorporate it into your geometric macros. That could be nice.
Great. Okay, Sylvia, I think we'll end the session here. With the 2 hours is kind of up now. There's one last poll question, guys. If we could, if you can find the time to do it, that'd be great. The question is, if you're not on the latest version of artioscad, would you be interested in upgrading? Just a yes/no answer on that one there. And that is just one last check. So that user says thank you, Sylvie. I think you've covered that one. Some more nice comments in here saying that you've done a great job, Sylvie, and you deserve a nice lunch. So
I am.
Yeah. So well, thanks everybody. I guess that's you done, Sylvie.
Yep.
Great. Well, thanks everybody for staying with us. I mean, there's still a huge amount of you on the call. We really appreciate you staying with us over these last 2 hours. And yeah, I guess all that remains is for you guys to have a good day, and we'll sign off now. So thanks again.
Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye-bye.